What's going on, everybody? Thanks for downloading the Voice of Bedlam podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Santoro. We got a great show planned out for you guys today. Of course, week one has concluded. Giants victorious. Eagles victorious. Panthers not too much. Tell you what, Mr. Sam Stocks, his Bucks were pretty good. But let's get to the rest of the guys, the VOB crew, as I like to call them. Let's start it off with Devil John.
Yes, them Panthers did lose by a field goal. Got iced a little bit, so that icing situation did pan out in their favor. But honestly, I'm going on record again, because I said it with some people. This is the last loss that the Panthers take this season.
Ooh. What's going on, Sean?
What's up? It's another Tuesday, guys, and guess what? Week one is in the books. We all got to enjoy some football, except I only got to watch my team 6.5 hours after they actually played, because I had to work a 12-hour shift on Sunday. So I called my wife. I said, DVR the game for me, please. I'm not going anywhere after work. I'm coming right home. I'm watching my birds, and then I'm going to bed. And that's exactly what I did. And you know what? I got to see Carson Wentz impressed me, and it was
against a Browns defense.
Against a Browns team, I'm not buying a Carson Wentz jersey yet, but that's how my Sunday went.
Were you able to survive and not ever see the game score at any point before you started watching?
Yes.
Good for you, right?
Yes, because you know
that's
what
how you do it.
Because I know you know what I did. I put my phone on airplane mode. So I didn't get any texts about the game. I didn't get any updates on the game. I was completely non-existent.
That's the only way it could work for me. I would quit that job otherwise.
Yeah, until I got home, and I sat in front of my TV.
What?
I held my son, and we watched the Eagles win.
And then a man was happy. Let's talk to Colin.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, like a bad brother, you're hogging up your brother's time. How you doing over there, down there in chilly Philly?
I'm being asked questions. Colin, what's going on?
Well, the equivalent to watching a football game and watching my team win with my son, for me, since I have no son, no kid whatsoever,
I have no son.
Not only did my birds win, every single one of my fantasy football teams won. I am 6-0 in fantasy football.
Oh, nice.
And I just wanted to mention that because I'm in a lot of leagues with all you clowns, and I'm 6-0.
You're in 6 leagues, dude?
I'm in 6 leagues.
Colin loves the fantasy football.
Yeah,
he's 6-0, and it's only 1 week in the books.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right in though with this daily breakdown because we got a lot to cover.
All right, well, the daily breakdown going to be a little different on Tuesdays. Recapping the game. We're gonna the format for the show basically. We're gonna do some scores. And while we're doing the scores, of course, we're gonna give a little dissertation about the game. Then we're gonna close up the week. Well, actually, no. We'll probably talk about Bedlam's fantasy. We'll talk about our fantasy league a little bit, and then we're gonna get into next week and do our poker pick'ems.
I just want to shout out that hip fire shot from the vernacular there. Wow.
What?
Voice of Bedlam right here, moving it up in the world.
What'd I say?
Oh, well, you'll go back and in here.
Yeah, I think I missed it too.
Yeah, you missed it. Oh, yeah. Dissertation.
Oh, dissertation. There we go.
Yeah, I was about to say no one was like, oh wow,
that's like a 4-syllable word.
I'm a very educated person.
I never said you weren't. I'm just saying that see, Voice of Bedlam.
I went to Yale.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's. All right. So we've talked plenty. Your article, John, was the spotlight article last week on Panthers versus Broncos, and that game went in favor of the Broncos, 21-20. But we're just going to recap all the scores real quick. We got Green Bay on top of Jacksonville. One of the craziest games ever. Let's sit here and talk about this one a little bit. Kansas City hosting the Chargers. Now, Kansas City, Melvin Gordon had two touchdowns, who had no touchdowns last year. What, in the first half?
Yes.
All right. And the Chargers were out to a 24-3 lead in the fourth quarter.
But they also lost Allen.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do. They're halfway through the game, and they are losing Allen. We'll get to the injuries on all the games, but the Chiefs somehow came back, winning 33-27. Now, who really got a good eye on this game? Colin, did you get a good look at this comeback? Alex Smith orchestrated.
Nah, I'd be lying if I said I watched a lot of the game, but I think kind of it goes to show that when Keenan Allen is not on that football team, the Chargers really cannot move the ball effectively. And yeah, you know what? Danny Woodhead and Melvin Gordon had great games, but Phillip Rivers needs his Keenan Allen, and he's got no way to move the ball downfield. Obviously, that Andy Reid team is well coached, never gives up after halftime. It's a heck of a coaching job, and heck of a quarterback job out of Alex Smith there. And Spencer Ware also had himself a game. Remarkable comeback. Can't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So then is Travis Benjamin not a good wide receiver anymore? Because he's a Charger.
There's no Keenan Allen.
He is no Keenan Allen. I got Travis Benjamin.
Well, he's going to have to be. Who's going to be the next Keenan Allen?
That makes it a little bit more contingent on Travis Benjamin to be that next guy up.
Well, Williams led the team in receiving yards with 71 yards off 2 receptions. Now, the majority of that came in a 38-yard long, nice little pass he caught. Rivers threw 1 touchdown, 243 yards, and completed 25 of 36 passes. Now, rushing yards led by Danny Woodhead. Now, I've seen Danny Woodhead's name come up in my daily fantasy, and I was just like, yeah, okay, Danny Woodhead, yeah, sure, all right. And definitely should have picked him.
Danny Woodhead's a pretty good football player. I gotta say,
instead
he's
of him,
kind of like that sleeper in like fantasy, like.
But he's a special teams guy a lot, though.
Yeah.
But he also puts up like games like this. Like he'll be the guy that like you won't see anything out of him, and then like the next week he'll have like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I started Andre Johnson in my flex instead.
That was a major violation.
Exactly, especially with that touchdown
You got to
catch.
take Danny Woodhead over Andre Williams, man.
No, Andre Johnson.
Oh, Andre Johnson. All right,
the
Andre
receiver. It was
Johnson.
a flex.
Yeah, either way.
He's like, no,
that's a
either
bad
person.
move. That's
person.
bad.
All right, but I mean,
what do we got on the rest of these scores? We're gonna keep talking about this one here?
all right, okay, we'll move on to the
we got
next
a lot of
game.
scores to go through, man.
Yeah, we got a lot. Yeah,
All right, well,
it's
I mean,
football season
we
again.
have the Raiders taking out the Saints by 1 point. Now there was 6
that gutsy
games.
2-pointer
Del
right
Rio.
there.
There was 6 games decided by 2 points or less. It would have been 7 if not for that ridiculous lateral play Indianapolis tried, ending in a safety.
I got a funny nickname for Jack Del Rio.
What's that?
Casino Rio.
Yeah, gambling.
Hey, they
that
might
means
be
he has
moving to Vegas.
He has no faith in his defense, but it was a smart choice. It was the right move, and I think the players will definitely respect him for it. Because what are you trying to say, John?
Well, Ron Rivera got called
Riverboat Ron.
for
That's a good
gambling.
name. I
So
don't mind that.
I like it too. He's actually doing a charity shirt.
I
for
don't
that.
want to be irresponsible with the Giants, though. I like a conservative
Yes.
coach with the Giants.
I feel you,
I
but
hear you.
I want to see if that sticks out there, and I want to be one of the guys that coins it.
I mean,
Casino Rio.
he wears that leather jacket. You know what I mean?
Casino Rio.
But
What would we be saying right now if they don't get that 2-point conversion and they lose 34-33?
that he's a
ripping Jack Del
complete
Rio right
he's a
now?
complete idiot.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
It's weird how much something like that, like
At least we're honest.
something as small as a 2-point conversion or something as simple as a 2-point conversion can change the way you look at a coach's, the way he coached that game.
Yeah, but Derek Carr went the hell off, guys. 319 yards. Come on, I loved him in fantasy. I actually benched him. I benched Cam Newton for him, and I am glad I went with
I think
that.
Colin actually played him in our mother's league too, didn't you,
Sure
Colin?
did, and I enjoyed his performance.
I wanted Carr.
Amari
I never
Cooper
got
had
him, but
a
I
good
wanted
game
him.
too. Look at that.
I had him
So did Michael
in.
Crabtree put up points.
I had him in daily. I had Carr teamed up with Amari Cooper, which sounds like a nice,
it's a
tandem.
good-
I also had Mike Evans with Jameis Winston, and I didn't win squat this week.
Wow, it's too bad. I think Mike Evans had a good game too.
Oh, he had a phenomenal
good game.
game. He
Yeah.
got 29 points. Actually, he did not have a phenomenal game. We'll get to that game. I don't have the numbers in front of me. He came on in the end.
Yes.
He was laying a goose egg all game.
Well, that's because he was
Hey,
waiting for
guys,
that defense
speaking
to tire
of,
out.
Saints. Sorry to interrupt, but I got some breaking news here.
Okay.
According to ESPN, let's see, the order Mike Triplett, as of 15 minutes ago, former Buffalo Bill running back and previous Saint, C.J. Spiller, is now a free agent as they have just released him.
Oh, wow.
Okay, all right.
Breaking news out of Mike Triplett for ESPN.
Yeah, Mark Ingram led the Saints with rushing yards, 58 on 12 attempts. Nice average, up over 4.5, up at 4.8, actually. I mean, Willie Snead really went off. Another person I just looked right over.
I put him on my bench. He was sitting there on my bench for, like, I don't know.
172 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
What's that, 23 points?
That's all right, because, I was playing Andrew, and I destroyed him.
Yeah, we'll get to Bedlam's fantasy, which it was not a fantasy for me this week. Even with Antonio Brown going off,
he wish he woke up from.
With Antonio Brown going off, I still lost by double digits. I still lost by more than 20, I believe.
You lost by like 50, I'm pretty
No, because Antonio Brown went off, and I got some points in dead time.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
All right, but we'll keep moving with the scores. And Bengals Jets, another 1-point game. Now, I mean, a lot of people are saying, as I put in my Giants article that you guys should check out over at voiceofbedlam.com, check out the whole news site. A lot of people are saying that, this is the best opening week of football ever. And I mean, in recent memory, like I'm saying, my whole memory, why not? We got 6 games by 2 points or less. We got, I think it was 12 games by a field goal or less.
Yeah, and we definitely can't attribute it to a drought because it's only been like 4 to 5 months that we've been really without football.
Yeah. It's just like any other.
It's the whole offseason. It's just the longest time we ever.
Yeah, it's just like any other regular offseason. But like you guys are talking about a game that was decided by a missed field goal, a game that was decided by a 2-point conversion with literally seconds left.
An overtime game in Kansas City.
Yeah, an overtime game, which was a monumental comeback. Like there's not really any question about it. This was a really good week 1. Like,
and the Jets.
And what a way to come back for the 2016 year.
Absolutely.
For just a great week in football.
Now, the Jets losing by a point. This game ends with Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing an interception, just like the season ended last year. Now, I felt really bad. For whatever reason, I don't know, I guess because he was an underdog. Even when he was with Buffalo and the Titans, I always kind of liked Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think because he was out of Harvard and he didn't really have a chance and nobody respected him. So once he started doing good, I was really happy. Now, it was only one game, and it's not like he played terrible, but I mean, the Jets, just the game ending in that fashion, in another close one, ending with a Fitzpatrick interception. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns to go along with it, 189 yards, but it just stinks. Now, I know you like Fitz.
I like Fitzmagic, but unfortunately, he's got an issue with the passing game. There's too many people that they have Brandon Marshall, number 1, obviously.
Didn't do squat.
But he just like another number 1, Des Bryant, once again, didn't do squat.
Des Bryant, 1 catch for 8 yards. Marshall, 3 for 8.
Yeah, and then you got Eric Decker. And
32.
Eric Decker is, aging, and he only got 2 receptions.
He did score a touchdown, though.
Yeah,
yes.
He has one of Fitz. The touchdowns came to Quincy.
But only 2 catches.
Yeah, well, Fitz got no help from any of his wide receivers. His leading receiver was Matt Forte.
Exactly. So
with 59 yards. Now, Matt Forte, personally, having a great game. He would have been a nice flex for you. 96 yards on the ground, 59 yards through the air. No touchdowns. But, I mean, I personally started Brandon Marshall, and he got 3 for 32 on 8 targets.
Yes.
Brandon Marshall targeted 8 times, only comes in with 3 receptions for 32 yards. No touchdowns. Now, since we're talking about the close games, let's and I referenced it, let's move up to the best game of the week, of course. Giants triumphing back in their second home, Mr. Jerry World.
Over
AT&T
a rookie
Stadium.
quarterback and a rookie running back.
That was okay. First of all, you can say that now, but if we go to last Thursday's episode, all we're talking about is how Dak Prescott is so great. Ezekiel Elliott was $7,300 on DraftKings this week as a rookie. He was the 4th most expensive running back in the game. Now, Now he did score a touchdown,
Yes.
but his overall yards were not very good. Alfred Morris had less carries, but he seems to actually do it a lot better. And I think Alfred Morris. Let me get
he's
the
a
numbers
pro.
here.
He's a
chalk it
veteran.
up to being a veteran.
Alfred Morris had a 5-yard average. Ezekiel Elliott had a 2.6-yard
Ouch.
average and only 51 yards. For all the hype, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's a
Witten,
lot of touches
66
too.
yards.
20 touches.
Who was Dak Prescott, the rookie's leading receiver, 66 yards. Dak Prescott throwing for 227 yards, no touchdowns in his debut.
Can I address the elephant then in the room surrounding this game? What is up with the shoddy cornerback situation for both the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants? Like, I understand you have Eli.
I'm not going to talk squat
learning
on the Giants cornerbacks. I don't think the Giants cornerbacks they did that bad at all. I mean, the rookie had a great pass breakup. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it was the Dez Bryant play. No, I think that might have been Landon Collins that broke that up. The Dez Bryant play, which really seemed to deflate the Cowboys, and there's no way that was a catch. It was not a catch, but that was a great play. I mean, Dak Prescott didn't throw for any touchdowns. His leading receiver only had 66 yards. I think the Giants
moved the
DBs
ball.
did well. No, they moved the ball on the ground, and this is what was crazy. This is the tale of this game. The Cowboys ran right at the Giants' gut, and the Giants couldn't do anything about it until the Cowboys got into the red zone, or at least the 30, and then the Giants stopped them, held them. They let them score on the first 3 drives, but it was 3 field goals. They had 4 field goals overall with Ezekiel Elliott's touchdown.
So then where was the safety or the corner coming in to meet him in the gap?
Well, I got to be honest. I don't know there. I was more. You would have to more attribute that they were running right at the right at the gut. That's more like
Because if
Snacks
they're getting
Harrison.
past the linebackers, you need one of those cornerbacks or safeties to step up and hit the gap.
But that's not the.
Because if they're hitting it in the gut, then you need to bring that blitz in.
Yeah, but that needs to be Snacks Harrison.
That's
and,
on the defense.
Hankins.
That's on the
Yeah,
defensive
that's what I'm saying.
line.
That's Snacks and Hankins, in my opinion. I mean, let's see. As
It's
far
the
as
defensive
tackles
line
go, Jonathan
job to stop the run.
Jonathan Casillas led with 11 tackles. Next person, Jason Pierre-Paul, tied with him at second. Nat Burhay, who is a safety. Next up, also tied for second, Landon Collins with 6. So the safeties were in on the tackles. They're all tied for the second most tackles total.
Now, you guys had no sacks of Dak Prescott.
Absolutely
Does that worry
right.
you, or
Yes,
is that
a lot.
because of his mobility?
No,
I mean,
think,
obviously, he's a rookie. You should be able to get a rook
but
down.
JPP was a step too slow. He was hitting him. They were hitting him. It looked like they were going to get to him.
Just a little
I
too
am
late.
pissed that they didn't get any at all. That makes me mad. They were close, though, but they got to go home. Lots of times in the beginning of the year, you say they were close, and you're like, well, they're building to it. That's fine. But that's what I said last year, and it never happened.
Yeah.
So it better start happening with Olivier Vernon, JPP, Snacks Harrison, Odigizua, and Jonathan Hankins. I mean, Jonathan Hankins' rookie year, he had 8 sacks coming from the defensive tackle position. But we'll move on to another game. And do you guys, Sean, why don't we have you talk about the Eagles, and Colin, of course, over the Browns, and talk about your little article spotlight up at voiceofbedlam.com. Another Brown goes down. Way down.
Well, I'm not going to start off with that, but what I will start off with is the fact that Carson Wentz, the guy that the Eagles went up to number 2 and traded draft picks and everything to get. I watched that game, and he was nothing short of impressive, especially for a rookie. 278 yards.
He should play the lottery.
He was 22 of 37 for 2 touchdowns and 278 yards. He had a quarterback rating of, what did you say, Colin? Like 101 or something like that?
101, yeah,
101
flat.
on the dots.
101, yeah.
101 right on the dot. Like, all right, so I came home, I watched the game. Mary missed the first drive the Eagles had. But what I did catch when I flipped on the TV was the Jordan Matthews I caught the
leading receiver.
I hit play on the DVR, and all I saw was Jordan Matthews catching a touchdown.
I got a question
One
for
touchdown,
both of you guys.
114 yards.
All right, now how relieving as a fan does it feel to see Matthews, The Matthews. All right. Representing your team for the leading in rushing and receiving, and you both being the Johnsonses.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about that, man. But that's actually pretty
Punny?
cool. Yeah, it's
Pretty punny.
Talking about
do you want to
Ryan
be the wide
Matthews.
receiver, or do you want to be the running back? Who's now?
I mean, the wide receiver had the
Taller, let's
more
be
yards.
shorter.
I'll take the running back because I'm a little
There we go.
smaller. So
There we go.
That's funny.
Anyway, I mean, watching Carson Wentz.
What are we talking about here?
Hey, what are we talking about?
Anyway,
Ryan Matthews.
Yeah, all right. Well, what do we want to talk about?
Well, you were talking about Ryan
Talk
Matthews.
about whoever you want to
All
talk
right, I
about.
want to talk about Carson Wentz.
Why?
Because the kid,
He's a rookie quarterback in week 1.
Against the Browns.
The kid, he impressed me. I really liked what I saw out of him. It was something that I haven't seen really since Donovan McNabb was playing. Just there was something about it that I just knew Carson Wentz was going to make the right decision. He has already, I can tell, he has a tremendous field presence, and he just has this confidence about him that I didn't know that he had, especially coming out of a D2 school.
My
He
follow up
played,
to that, I
he
think,
played
is
so well for.
That's what the broadcast was talking about too. His demeanor.
He was just so calm. He was doing things that Sam Bradford never would have. He was calling audibles at the line. He was reading the defenses. He was just. I mean, no, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is Joe Montana, but
Yeah.
But it was a good. I watched the game, but he looked good.
He
Yeah,
looked
did.
really
He looked all
good. He was nothing short of
You know,
impressive.
he said he wants to have Eli's composure. He said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah,
but he did say
I
so.
would love
Eli Manning is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, so I mean, why not? I can't. I mean, as much as I hate the Giants, Eli Manning is a good quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not a bad dude to model your game off of.
Exactly.
Now, Colin, let's have you talk. Give your thoughts on the Eagles, and then we got to talk about this Brown that went down.
Well, I mean, I predicted the Browns to win this game, so frankly,
yeah,
I'm a little
Sean
bit
the
shocked.
lone wolf in picking the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know, RG3's elusiveness and like Terrell Pryor's explosiveness, and you know he did have an amazing catch down the sideline.
Yeah.
from RG3.
Yeah, that
That's
was a
Terrell
good
Pryor.
catch.
An incredible play, but you know what? Our defense, as advertised in the preseason, and they really shut down the Browns' offense. You know, we had sacks out of Fletcher Cox. We had sacks out of Brandon Graham, Connor Barwin. They attacked the quarterback.
They didn't get to him.
RG3 was running
They didn't
all
get to
over.
him though till later on in the game, which kind of bothered me a little bit. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I gotta as much as I loved how Carson Wentz played, Ryan Matthews was decent enough at moving the ball on the ground. I thought Doug Peterson called a great game. It was a very efficient and simple offense, but also aggressive at times. I really got to take my hats off to the defense. Jim Schwartz. It wasn't
He was
a tough
disguising
team that he was
blitzes.
up against that, and it worked.
Well, I mean, you guys had 3 sacks. That's phenomenal. You got Fletcher Cox coming away with a sack.
Connor
You got,
Barwin.
4 total tackles.
Brandon
Connor
Graham.
Barwin and Graham.
Yeah, you guys got 3 sacks. I mean, week 1, 3 sacks. I mean, I wish I had 3 sacks on the Giants.
Especially with an elusive quarterback like RG3.
And let's segue over to the Browns and RG3.
Do we want to run through the scores real quick? or-
Well, okay. Well,
Well-
RG3, 190 yards, no touchdowns, 12.
no, he did throw 1 touchdown.
No touchdowns.
No
for RG3.
touchdowns.
Oh,
No,
he
he
did
did not throw a
he did not
touchdown.
throw a
Yeah,
touchdown.
12
Isaiah
completions.
Crowell rushed for their touchdown.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Isaiah Crowell, 62 yards, touchdown, 5.2 yard average off 12 carries. But RG3 did the most RG3 thing ever, just like another ex-Redskins quarterback, that being, who's the guy that headbutted the wall? Gus Frerotte. You guys
Yes,
remember when
yes.
Gus Frerotte,
Oh, man, that's
touchdown
right.
celebration,
Yes.
headbutts the wall, gave himself a concussion? Well, RG3 decided to lead with his head while he was a ball carrier as he was going out of bounds. A flag would have been
Limp
thrown
shoulder.
if he was on defense, okay?
Walked away with a limp
Leads
shoulder.
a limp shoulder on IR. Sean, you did the post. What's going on?
All right, so not Carson Wentz. Wow, I'm still on Carson Wentz. RG3.
Get off the beep.
RG3 goes to run out of bounds. It's something that, quarterbacks who have been in the league know that they need to do on a play that is broken. He tries to run out of bounds. Jalen Mills, the Eagles corner, runs up, hits Gary Barnidge, bounces off of Gary Barnidge, the Cleveland Browns tight end, and hits RG3 in the left side and breaks a bone in RG3's shoulder, which is not his non-throwing shoulder, mind you, but now RG3 has been put on IR and he's out for, they're saying, about 8 weeks, and that puts him on the shelf until the second week of November, where the Browns take on the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. So I mean, that's
not a good way to come back.
This is Josh McCown's game to lose.
And that's a tough spot to come back into.
Is RG3 done? Is McCown the guy?
And that's actually a pretty good segue, because I mean, RG3 for
touchdowns.
For what he's been in the league, he only had one good season, and now he's coming to a new team, and he's getting hurt in game 1, and now he's out for 2 months.
At least. I mean, the only reason...
And so this is the type of thing that, like, a quarterback like RG3, this is something that could jeopardize his career as a quarterback, at least a starting quarterback in this league. If and when he comes back, I mean, how much longer is RG3 for the NFL?
I think he's done.
He's done. I agree.
Barring injury, I think he started his last game for the next 3 to 5 years.
So
you
ever?
Might be right.
You mean ever? Is that what you mean?
I was about to say.
You never know
was he
what
going to
can
play
happen.
a senior pickup flag football?
He could be on a bad team in 3 years, kind of like this year's Browns, that has no other option but to start Robert Griffin.
So you're saying that
Josh McCown's
RG3
gonna come back. Josh McCown's going to lead the Browns to a 2-8 record, and they're going to be like, screw it. We want Deshaun Watson out of Clemson first overall. We're
And the
not
Browns
giving
draft another
RG3,
quarterback.
a more talented quarterback, the chance to win too many games. Nope, we're going to keep losing with Josh McCown, and we'll take another, rookie quarterback.
Cleveland, where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Cleveland, get it together.
And it sucks because, I mean, it sucks for RG3 because he was really looking to resurrect his career. I was kind of rooting for the guy too. I mean, especially
everybody likes a comeback story
because he's not.
I wasn't rooting for him.
He's not.
I don't like RG3.
Well, he's not a division rival anymore. So I got no reason to hate the guy, especially when he's playing for a 3-win team last year, and it was desperate for a quarterback. I mean, that Johnny Manziel thing obviously didn't pan out for the Browns, and they're playing their 13 millionth quarterback in the last 20 years. So
just to wrap this all up, you guys want to run through these scores real fast?
Yeah, okay. We got Vikings coming out over the Titans 25-16. The Bears falling to the Texans. Let me tell you, that rookie over there at the Texans, he looks pretty nice. Him and D-Hop.
Will Fuller.
Nice little, Will Fuller. And nice little tandem they had going on.
Yes,
23-14 Texans winning. Seahawks, didn't look like anybody wanted to win this game. Real defensive matchup.
Yeah.
12-10 coming up over top of Miami. The Bucks in a great performance by Jameis Winston. 31-24. Now, Jameis Winston, he started off the game with an interception. The Bucks did not look good, and it looked like it was going to be a real rough season, or at least a real rough game for him. But Winston ends up with 4 touchdowns after his one interception for 281 yards. 99 of those yards going to Mike Evans, who also had a touchdown. And
almost got a 100 burger.
The next receiver up there,
Doug Martin got 34 yards. And then, see?
yes, Doug Martin, yes.
Yeah, which, that's not, Doug or not, I like his, he got 62 on the ground, and then he got 34, in receiving. That's a good day for him.
Now, Sims and ASJ with the other touchdowns.
Yes, I like Chris Sims, though. I think...
Charles Sims.
Yeah, sorry. Damn. I just went to, oh, man. Yeah, anyway, back to reality now. Those two, you got a decent, punch and speed combo there, and especially if they can establish that run game early and continue it on, it will only open up that passing game more. And it will, I don't know, like I said, this is one of them teams that I have my eyes on, because the Panthers,
rival,
the Panthers have to face them twice.
Now, Matty Ice didn't have a bad game, going 27 for 39 with a 69.2 completion rating, and throwing for 334 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was also sacked 3 times, and those sacks coming from Alexander McCoy, Robert Ayers, ex-Giant. So a couple 3-sack teams going around. Not the Giants and their expensive defensive line, however. Now, a lot of low-scoring games. It was kind of nice. Nobody made it into the 40s. Only team to make it in the 30s was the Bucks at 31. A low-scoring game, Ravens 13 over the Bills.
Well,
7.
what about the Colts and the Lions?
Yeah, that was 28-0 though.
Oh, so there was
No.
So there was more 30s
the Colts and the Lions.
The Lions scored the most
39 points. 39 to 35 was that score. Detroit over Indianapolis, and then the Raiders beat the Saints.
The Colts scored 17 points in the fourth quarter and could not seal the victory.
We got the Ravens 13-7 over the Bills. That's one of those low scoring games.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That was one game that I had my eyes on though, because like I said, the Ravens this year are one of my sleeper teams to take their division, and
I disagree, but
you can pleasantly.
We've already discussed that.
I was about to
How anemic is that Bills offense, though? That was such a disappointment.
Yo,
That
I feel
looked
bad.
And I was high on him.
If anybody
what's
wants
up with
Sammy
your boy,
Watkins,
Sammy
let's go.
Watkins? That's
I was
what
about to say, if you guys,
none of your little fan faves, with the exception of the Raiders, who didn't look that great though, really did all that well. Sammy Watkins, 43 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Panthers did not, really.
Kelvin Benjamin came back and
Kelvin
he-
Benjamin
that was
have a
nice.
good game,
That was
yeah.
nice. Yeah. Tyrod Taylor sticking it with the Bills, 111 yards through the air. Terrible. No touchdown with a 79.9 rating. Atrocious. But let's try and wrap up these last 3 games. But we got to talk about them a little, because one of them involves the New England Patriots and Jimmy Garoppolo. So the Pats come out with no Brady and no Gronk for the first time since the two have been teammates. Jimmy Garoppolo, NFL starter debut, 23-21 over the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, that's
Talk
shocking.
about a worthy adversary.
That's shocking, because I thought the Cardinals would stop the Patriots, especially without Brady and Gronk. The Cardinals are a good team. I got them winning that division in the NFC West, but they ended up losing. I think I don't remember how.
It was the last second field goal.
Yeah, it was the last second field goal. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
And I'm trying
Chandler.
to.
Chandler could.
How many yards was it? 42.
I don't remember.
42 yard
Chandler
field goal.
Catanzaro.
Catanzaro.
Yeah, he missed a field goal.
47-yard field goal.
A game winner too.
All right, but talking about now, Edelman, 66 yards off 7 receptions, 9.4 average, and the touchdown coming with LeGarrette Blount, 1 touchdown, 22 yards. Let's keep moving and get to the Monday night games. Now, I mean, the Steelers just destroyed Antonio Brown and D'Angelo Williams, absolutely annihilated the Redskins. The Redskins, as I've been saying, nobody remembers the Redskins even won the division already, because no one cares. So, I mean, what did you guys think about this Redskins-Steelers game? I mean, the Steelers really, really put on a clinic.
Yeah, I watched that game. Well, I watched some of that game last night, and Roethlisberger and the Steelers were just taking it to the Redskins. And I saw some things out of Antonio Brown. Like Antonio Brown, there's a reason why he's the number 1 receiver in the league, and he was just he pulled in a ball in the corner of the end zone. It It's just crazy. Like
That was only
think,
one of his 2 scores.
Yeah, he had 2 scores. I don't think I saw the other one, but I mean, this was just an absolute beatdown of the Washington Redskins.
One of them was when he jumped up into double coverage and just came down with the ball, and his second touchdown was one where it was just a pretty little throw in the front corner of the end zone over the shoulder.
Yeah.
He really made the non-Josh Norman quarterback look like a second-best corner on a team. And you know what? I am upset with the Redskins coach, Mr. Gruden over there, Mr. Jay Gruden. If I am a Redskins fan, I don't know why you're not sticking Josh Norman on Antonio Brown.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. You're paying him a lot of money to be your number 1 corner, and you're not putting him on the best receiver in the league. What's going on with that?
But see,
what I've read is that they have an interest in, if you put Norman on a certain side of the field, regardless of wherever you stick the wide receivers, then you're completely shutting down one side of the field,
an island,
leaving the offense to function on only the other side of the field. But that doesn't make a difference when Antonio Brown is that receiver on the other side of the field, having a field day.
Now, he wasn't the only one to have a field day. D'Angelo Williams also having multiple scores, 2 touchdowns off 143 yards on the ground. Big Ben throwing for 3 with 300 yards, and Ryan Shazier coming away with a nice interception. But you guys want to move on to the last game, or you got more stuff on the Steelers?
No, I think that's it. I mean, the Redskins, they showed up at home.
I got to say that as a Le'Veon Bell owner in fantasy in a league where I didn't manage to get D'Angelo Williams, I'm a bit concerned that when Lev Bell comes back, he's going to be in a complete
Split and
time
carry.
No.
I don't think you got to worry about
D'Angelo Williams
last year too, but
is
more
old and
more that
injury
keeps
prone.
happening.
D'Angelo Williams is old and injury prone.
Le'Veon Bell is probably the most explosive and productive back in the game.
I know he is.
You don't have to worry about that. And D'Angelo Williams, as good as he has been, is still 33 years old, I'm pretty sure, and he's just filling the gap for Le'Veon Bell until he comes back. And good for Steelers fans, he's doing a really good job of it.
How many football teams right now would love to have D'Angelo Williams or Spencer Ware on their squad? Right now?
Yeah.
Two backup running backs.
Or Kristen Michael for Seattle, or
there's
there's a couple names that you can throw out there.
But let's get to the West Coast Monday night game, which was the Rams big we're the Los Angeles Rams. I mean the game was in San Francisco though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
The game was in San Francisco, but still it was their debut. They put up a big fat goose egg, 28-0, and
the defense was supposed to be able to stop.
Not only did they put up a goose egg, they put up a goose egg with the 49ers. Case Keenum is everything everybody thought he was.
Terrible.
Exactly.
Terrible.
130 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
17 of 35. That's less than a 50% completion.
48.6.
That's really, really bad. Jared
Total
Goff.
QBR
Terrible.
was 5. That's out of 100.
Wait, say that
5.
again, Colin?
His total QBR, different than the quarterback rating, is QBR, total QBR, 5 out of 100.
And
I don't know if you can possibly do anywhere else. I think
34.2.
0.
So Jared Goff is sitting on the bench while Case Keenum
was he even on the bench? He wasn't even in uniform, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. You did say he was. He was not even
drafted.
activated. So he's sitting on the bench, inactive.
He was handing out Gatorades.
Well, Case Keenum goes for a QBR of 5, 17 of 35 for 0
Total
touchdowns.
QBR of 5. His
Now, if you're
QBR
Jeff
rating was
Busher,
34.2.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
Do you guys start the rookie in your home opener next week just because, even if he's not ready? Like,
Nah.
it is against the
No,
Steelers.
I would. I absolutely would.
They did that with Todd Gurley last year.
See, I can't say because I don't see him play. I think if he's not ready, he's not ready. If he's ready, play him. If he's not, don't.
He's got to be more ready than this.
35 or 17 for 35, 130.
Yeah, I would have.
I would hope
say,
so.
I would have to say the rookie for the number 1 overall draft pick. If he's not at least that ready, then you got yourself a real problem.
Now, as I said, Case Keenum was everything everybody thought he was, but Todd Gurley, on the other hand, was not everything everybody thought
He got shut
was.
down? No.
47 yards, no touchdowns, 2.8 yards a carry. John, what's going on?
Well, there's when you can't move the ball around through the air because your quarterback can't get the ball there.
Because your quarterback's Case Keenum?
It gives you it gives the illusion now that you're only one-dimensional when trying to move the ball
When the
for
Rams
positive
were
yards.
zero-dimensional.
Correct. And there was nothing working for them. The ground did not open up. They had a total of 65 yards on the ground between Gurley with 47.
Case Keenum
went for 10. Ooh. And then Malcolm Brown came in with third with 5 yards. And then there was Tavon Austin with 2 and Benjamin Cunningham with 1 yard. But, 65 yards on the ground is not acceptable. You got to move the ball around or you got to put up more receiving yards numbers because 130 yards total for a game through the air is terrible. So
that's not even. I mean, that's middling for a half, let alone a full game.
correct. I would agree.
I
would concur with you, sir.
So the Rams, they did not have a good week 1.
You better go back to the chalkboard and hope that you come up with some real good X's and O's for next week. Because that was a terrible. Because as of right now for the new season, you still haven't even scored a point, sir.
Now, player of the game for the Rams would definitely have to be Johnny Hecker, who had 10 punts for 431 yards.
It's a lot of 3 and outs, man.
What was the total hang time on those punts?
Oh, jeez, dude.
I want to know that stat.
Yeah, it's you know what that means? It's time to move on. When we're talking about punter stats for a team to try to find something positive, we need to move on
to Bedlam's fantasy. All right, now Bedlam's Fantasy, the league we got going on, 10-man league. Everybody here, doing is a contributor, either be it on the website or an editor. So let's run through it real quick. Mm-hmm. Now we had Team Amber Seco. Now he's usually the guy writing about MLB up on the site, taking on little Miss Sarah over there in Southside. Sarah coming out with the win. Now Sarah's going to be our hockey personnel, our NHL gal, if you will. And Sarah going 155 to 128 over Thomas. Now, this is the interesting game. And now
no quarterback and no tight end started. Really
crap the bed, let's say. And I lost 168 to 110 while I had Antonio Brown, who got me 37 points. Now, Sean, you had D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah. I had D'Angelo Williams.
So we kind of just kicked each other in the teeth. You got 39. I even lost with Antonio Brown. He wasn't even the highest stealer in the friggin' game.
I had 2 backup. I actually had 3 backups actually put in on my squad because I had to take Jason Witten off the waiver wire because Tyler Eifert is hurt, who I drafted. So I had Spencer Ware, D'Angelo Williams, and Jason Witten, and they both, all 3 of them, I should say, all put up really big numbers. Spencer Ware and D'Angelo Williams especially. So I come out on top by 58 points.
Jesus. And
so enjoy first place while you got it. Feels
hey
good,
man,
no.
Don't even start. Don't even start.
Let's get
I had the highest score. I had the highest score of this week.
Well, Colin,
you are in first place.
Colin, I'm second on the waiver wire. Colin, let's talk about your game. Punks and Redskins versus Team Stocks. Talking about Sam Stocks in the UK. Got to get him a real name. Versus the Brit, the hardcore hooligan. Now, you're going to come up on top, Sam Stocks, 162 to 125. Now, Colin, you really had luck come out.
This was the Andrew Luck show, yeah. I had moderate scores. Outside of Luck's 52 points, my top scorer was Jordan Matthews, who had a great game, which pretty proud of myself for deciding to put Jordan Matthews in above. I believe I was going to originally start Julian Edelman, who only put up 14. So sticking Jordan Matthews against that porous Browns defense, but this was the Andrew Luck show. 385 yards, 4 touchdowns, just throwing the ball all over the place in a shootout with the Lions. Guys, I think Andrew Luck is back.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Yeah, hopefully the team can get it back together, though. But we'll move on.
They still lost that
game. Shots fired.
Dante
Moncrief looked good, though.
The game, you're right.
Cuba Libre visiting whatever the hell your team's
not
name
my
is.
bathroom, not my baño, not my problemo.
Okay, not my bathroom, not my problem. Coming out on top, 150 to 114. Now, John, you were taking it to the house with none other than Derek Carr.
Yes, which was really hard for me because I had to sit Cam Newton, and as a fan, I did not want to do that, but also as a supporter of these Raiders going into the season, I felt like, all right, well, I'm going all in, and especially against last year's worst defense, I felt confident.
All right, well, and closing up the week, we had the Bitchin' Rude Girls with owner Jessica, one of the editors at voiceofbedlam.com, going up against In Your Face, Too Legit to Quit, Bad Boy Joe over there. Now, Jessica really took it to the house on Joe, scoring 142 to 105. Now, Jessica had Drew Brees, my little gal over there, smart enough to put in Drew Brees. Too bad she didn't have Willie Snead. Drew Brees putting up 53 points for the Bitchin' Rude Girls.
Did she have Brandon Cooks by any chance? Because Brandon Cooks also had a big game.
I don't know.
I'm just asking, man.
I didn't do that much research into
Drew Brees
Jessica
had himself
Joe's
a
game.
nice little game.
She won with Des Bryant?
Oh, that hurt her and still kicked ass then, huh?
Oh, no, that wasn't her. That was
that was Joe.
That was Joe. You got hurt by Des. Got 8 yards hurt.
With Thomas and Macklin.
Thomas, did he have Thomas Rawls too? I think I was looking at some of the scores.
Thomas
Rawls. I had him in my other league. He didn't do much either.
Correct.
Latavius Murray did have an alright game though.
Yeah, but those are all coming from In Your Face, Too Legit to Quit.
If you had Hauschka or whatever, I forget how you say his last name, but Hauschka or whatever.
Stephen Hauschka?
Yeah, there we go.
Hauschka.
That guy. He scored all the points for that team.
All right. Well, that's enough of fantasy football. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to close the book on week 1. We're going to close the book on the 1-0 Giants. We're going to close the book on the 1-0 Eagles and on the 0-1 Panthers, who lost on Thursday night in the national televised game. We can finally close the book on all that.
Correct.
And talk about week 2. And what better way is there to start off week 2 than giving you guys our Joker Choker Pro Football Pick'em Poker Picks. Take it, John.
That's right. JokerChoker.com is home of the Joker Choker Pro Football Pick'em Poker. It is a new style of football pick'ems that is going to bring the strategy of poker to the game of football pick'ems.
Now, each week, you're going to pick the winners of each game. It's a ticket-style game, and each team you pick will have a poker card assigned to them. So if you pick the San Diego Chargers, you also acquire whatever card they have, be it an ace of spades or a 2 of diamonds. You have to simultaneously build the best poker hand possible, and your chance to win your game and get $500 free to play.
So sign up for your free account today at jokerchoker.com and use promo code Bedlam. That's BEDLAM, just like the show. Go on there, use that promo code and get bonus coins to get you started.
Awesome. So
let's real quick. Who took it last week? We don't have to go over our last week's picks, but who ended up? Sean, I think you came out on top with the ace high flush.
Yeah, I had the ace high flush. I actually got all of my picks right, so I ended up with an ace high flush.
Yeah, I got a pair of aces. That's it.
All right. So who wants to? Now we're only gonna touch on the games we're using in our personal poker card hands, in our personal poker hands. So John, we got yours queued up. What do you got?
Okay. Well, I'm banking on the Patriots beating Miami to get me a jack of diamonds, and the Tennessee Titans over the Lions to give me an 8 of diamonds. The Los Angeles Rams bouncing back and beating the Seahawks.
Oh my God!
To give me,
You are out of your mind.
John is totally going for that poker hand, though.
to give me the ace of diamonds. All right,
You gotta pick winning games to make the card count.
so
John is just looking at this from a poker hand standpoint.
hey, you gotta gamble sometime. The Oakland Raiders over the Falcons to give me the 2 of diamonds, and Jacksonville Jaguars to go over the Chargers to give me the 10 of diamonds, giving me a frush.
All right, now I guess what do you guys think about that? I mean, well, we kind of already laughed at some of these picks.
I see where John's going with, because he's looking for the flush or the frush.
The
frush, as he called it. I would not take the
nerds.
Titans over the Lions, and I wouldn't definitely 1,000 times definitely would not take the Rams
John,
over the Seahawks.
I will trade you. No, I'm not going to ruin my fantasy team over this. I will. Oh man, let's see.
He's got to prioritize.
He's prioritizing.
If the Rams beat the Seahawks, I'll just give you $20. It's very simple.
I think that sounds like a $20.
And if the Rams lose, nothing happens. I'll just give you a 20 spot next time I see you.
How about a sandwich? Let's do
I'll
sandwiches.
buy you a delicious sandwich.
There we go.
All right.
We'll do a sandwich bets or
All
something.
right, so
That's always
Sandwich
friendly.
bet.
So, Colin, do you agree with John on any of your picks at all?
Actually, I don't disagree with the rest of the picks. I can see.
Yeah, John's
all those
other picks I
scenarios coming out.
totally get.
Yeah, I can understand that. For me, I'm going for I figured it out, Joker Choker. I was an idiot. Joker Choker is actually very, very simple to use. So I'm going for the full house this week. Right in the middle, it should get a lot of points, and I think I have pretty easy picks. I'm taking the Jets over the Bills. I once believed in the Bills offense, but I don't know anymore. So I'm taking the Jets over the Bills Thursday. That gives me the ace of hearts. Then I'm going Redskins over the Cowboys, which gives me the 5 of diamonds. And then I'm taking the 5 of spades by picking the Ravens over the Browns. 5 of clubs by taking the Panthers over the 49ers. And then I'm getting my last ace for my full house by taking the Cards over Sam Stock's Buccaneers. I think.
So you're getting a full house
Cardinals.
5s over aces. That's a pretty good hand.
I'll take it. And I think all my picks are pretty simple ones. With all due respect to the Bucks, I don't
like
think they're ready
all
to
your picks. I would
beat
take
the
all of
Cardinals
them
right now.
All right, well, why don't you guys tell me about my picks? Now, I am also going for a big old boat, a nice little flush. I'm talking 10s over jacks. 3 10s, 2 jacks, and I'm getting that.
That's a full house.
It's a full house, not a flush.
That's what I said.
No, you said a flush.
You said
I meant,
full
well, I
house.
said boat. A boat is a full
But
house.
then you said a flush.
All right, well,
He
it's
said a boat.
Well, it's a boat.
Yes, let's-
All right, all right.
Which he schooled me on. A boat is also AKA a full house.
Yeah. I do like to play Texas Hold'em
It's fun.
constantly,
It's
to be
fun.
honest.
Gotcha.
But, all right, so I'm taking the New England Patriots over the Miami Dolphins, giving me the Jack of Diamonds. Houston Texans. Now, this was a hard game for me to pick, and I kind of went with it for the hand.
Oh, so
But-
do I get to laugh at you
No,
as hard
but
as you
mine's
laugh at
more
my pick?
legitimate
Yeah,
than
I
yours.
gave you permission.
Mine's more legit. Mine is the Houston Texans beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't see that
I
happening.
can
that
see
as
it.
well.
I can see
Yeah,
it.
it's a-
I picked it as well.
Yeah, it's a
Not for my
little
hand,
bit.
but-
It's not a guarantee, but it's not as ridiculous as some
Sure.
of the things you have said. But
What the scoreless Rams beating?
beating the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle Seahawks. only
Hey,
put
it's a
12 points.
divisional game, man, and let's not get too deep into that. But
No.
it's a divisional game.
I'm taking the Broncos over the Colts, the Jaguars over the Chargers, and the Packers over the Vikings. Now, all the games in my hand, I don't see any one of them as like a give me besides the New England game. I see New England destroying Miami. All
see
the
it.
other games, they're going to be good games. They're going to be fair matches. I'm really excited for this year. It seems like we got a lot of good matchups. But Sean, let's hear about your JokerChoker.com pro football pick'ems.
All right, so first off, I got the Jets beating the Bills, which gives me the ace of hearts. I got the Patriots taking down the Dolphins, which gives me the Jack of diamonds. I got the Texans taking down the Chiefs as well, which gives me the Jack of spades. And then I got the Lions taking down Tennessee, which gives me the King of spades. And then finally, the Cardinals taking down the Buccaneers, which gives me
What?
the ace of spades. Which
Ace of Spades.
which really only gives me a pair of aces and a pair of jacks, and then a king high. So it's not as great a hand as last week, and maybe not as good a hand as you guys are going for. 2 pairs though, it doesn't beat a full house. It doesn't beat a flush. But I mean, depending on what happens with these games,
you got to win the game.
Yeah, maybe it ends up being the best hand. We'll see.
If you lose one game, you're not going to get your poker hand. So
Correct.
sometimes
Exactly.
it's smart to play a little conservative.
Yeah, but I do believe if you were, say you were going for a full house and like my third 10 lost, but all my other games won,
That's
I
2
still end up with
pairs.
2 pair. Yeah.
Right.
So that is like that. It's kind of like playing. It's more like playing Omaha, the way I
Yes.
see it, than it is Texas Hold'em. Omaha with 4 cards, you can only
Right.
use 2, but you got to have a 5-card hand.
Yes.
So I see it more like Omaha, or what do they call it when you got to go? It starts out as Omaha, but then you got to put a card back and play Tahoe. Does anybody play poker?
No,
I got
I don't
no
play
idea.
too much.
I don't
forget
play
what they
poker
call it.
like that.
Yeah, I
It's-
played
it's,
like 5 card, and then I played, Texas. And
Oh no, I played Texas, Tahoe or Vegas, Omaha. No, yeah, I'm all about.
You're all about it. I should hook you up with my friend Jeremy. He's all about the poker.
But if you guys like poker just as much as I do, remember to
Casino
go over to jokerchoker.com, sign up for your free account, and make sure you use promo code BEDLAM, Bedlam, BEDLAM at entry, and you'll get even more free coins. Now, because you do need a cryptocurrency to be in the game, and you do have to open up with jacks or better. So pick your hand wisely, get in on the fun. It's free to play, and you can win some cash. Just use promo code Bedlam at jokerchoker.com.
Yes.
Now, before we wrap things up, we're going to try something new. I don't know if we have a catchy name for it yet. Now, John, you are the man on the mic and on the board, so you're going to be the timekeeper.
No, I'm going to be the timekeeper, but you know what? Colin, of all people, I think he came up with the best one, and that's get your together.
Oh, we didn't come up with a drop yet. All right, so this is going to be our little 1-minute rant that each one of us will take. We are going to be on the clock. See, I think we're going to be trimming it down to 40 seconds, though, because I want to get the feel of a play clock. But for the first one, we'll definitely go with a minute, all right? So we can go on a nice little rant and just get some feelings
get some-
off our chest.
Yeah, get a little
What,
bit
you
of
wanna do 40?
frustration out.
All right,
let's do it like a play clock.
I'll give. All right, I like a real
I
play
like
clock, real play clock style here. 40 seconds.
Because now we got the 4-minute hut and the 2-minute drill. The 2-minute get your beep together.
Indeed. Yeah, right. Yeah, I can beep.
But it's
right.
not a 2-minute drill. It's like go ahead. We'll figure it out.
We'll do math right one day. All right, and who's gonna go first?
Colin.
Colin, you're
go
on the
ahead.
hot seat already, okay? And your clock starts.
Well, what is the topic first, Colin?
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Okay, and your clock starts. Meow.
You know what my real beef is I got a computer here which is not that old, and this friggin' computer. Why can't you make a computer last 4 or 5 years? I turn it off every night. It was a hand-me-down from my girlfriend. It's not that old. It should be ready to go. I turn it on, and she's like, and you try to copy and paste, and you try to build a note on your computer so we could have a successful Voice of Bedlam podcast, and just like, I don't really feel like doing anything that you say right now. And you know what? I'm going to go out and say it. I hate you, Dell. I'll never purchase one ever again.
Yes. Well,
you guys?
I definitely feel him on the technical issue sometimes, so I can sympathize. But I don't know. How many times have you been frustrated with your device that it hasn't worked?
It started running slow maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
5 seconds.
I'm not putting a plug in, but it's a fruit-based product. I'm not going to say anything against it or for
All
it.
right, and that is your
It's
time.
done all right.
And that is your time.
All right, so that's done.
That's your time.
Computers suck. And
done.
while we're on technology being crappy, I have got to slander ESPN's app once again. Are
And
you kidding me?
you can go.
Auto-drafted half of our league. You auto-drafted half of our league, and then your servers go down on week 1 of NFL action while we got Bedlam's Fantasy going on? We got Draft Kit sponsoring Bedlam's Fantasy, but apparently we are not smart for trusting in ESPN.com to do something right with fantasy football. I mean, I can't trust their app. I can't trust their app. How can I trust their analysis? Not that I trusted it to begin with. I'm sorry. ESPN has always been and always will be the Fox News of sports coverage. I'm an NFL Network man myself. I love the NFL Network, but screw ESPN. How can your servers go down on week 1? I don't even know that I'm getting destroyed by Sean because I can't get to the scoreboard.
And I don't know I'm destroying Andrew either.
Yeah, it was no fun. Well, how can I talk trash? I think I have this person going. I'm not sure.
It did work on the
funny,
website.
Andrew, there's a way that they said that you can go in and you can retroactively switch the lineups around as commissioner, and you could be like, oh, well, I was going to start this guy who was totally blown up.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
But I couldn't change the lineup.
I could flat out change the...
You still probably don't have enough bench points.
Don't do that. And also, don't do that because now we know you're going to want to do that because Colin said it.
No.
Oh, man.
We'll call you out, Andrew.
I can just flat out change the score.
All right.
I can.
All right, Sean. Sean, what's your rant?
All right, my rant is about Kirk Cousins.
All right, and your time starts now.
And I've said this on multiple occasions. I think Kirk Cousins is the most overrated quarterback in the entire league. This guy is making $20 million. I know he was franchise tagged because the Redskins didn't believe in him enough, but he is now making $20 million a year. And last night he got absolutely destroyed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. There were plays where I saw there were 3 rushing. The Steelers rushed 3, and he had an open lane to rush for a first down on a third down. It was literally like 5 yards for the first down. And what does he do? He makes like a bad pass to like Deshaun Jackson or Pierre Garçon or somebody. Didn't even. No. You know what he did? No, I forgot. He threw the ball out of bounds over the end, like out of the end zone on 3rd and 5 when he had an open lane. The first down was right there for you, Kirk Cousins, and you completely beefed that one up.
5 seconds.
Now, 329 yards for Kirk Cousins, no touchdown, going 30 on 43.
No, that's a pretty good completion.
Sir.
That's a pretty good completion percentage.
Right.
69.8.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins, you are not worth $20 million either.
I don't know.
His
329 yards, but the 2 INTs is bad.
Yeah, he didn't throw a single
His
touchdown.
overall rating was a 72.7, so that really sums it up.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's also not terrible compared to some of the other performances in the league. All right, and to wrap it up, I'm just going to rant about the lack of respect for the mobile quarterbacks. Most recently, obviously, is the Cam Newton situation, but see, like a good scholarly person, I went back and I started looking, and I started seeing Randall Cunningham, and I'm like, okay, let's watch some footage on that. Oh, that's a hard hit that didn't get really called. Dang. Okay, now let's move on. Oh, Warren Moon. Once again, same thing. Okay, Aaron McNair. Once again. I started noticing
Steve
the trend. Aaron McNair, man.
Aaron McNair.
Aaron
Steve
McNair.
Oh, my bad.
Steve Aaron McNair. You know, yeah, same thing.
I thought you said Aaron McNair.
Aaron McNair.
No, I thought you said All right,
Yeah.
my bad.
So I'm starting to think that there is a conspiracy against the referees and mobile quarterbacks. Maybe they don't like to run so fast up and down the field. Maybe shots fired at Ed Hockley because for last year's comment.
Jack.
Yeah, I don't care, but you know what? All that muscle means you don't have no cardio.
He's like 70. And there we go. Now, we're going to wrap up the show, but real quick, before we get out of here, we'll get into it more, but let's give our From the Hip, our Jets-Bills call, because we're not going to be here. Oh, you're going Bills. I'm taking Jets, man.
I'm also taking Jets on Thursday.
Colin, Thursday Night Football, who you got?
I've got the Jets.
All right, so John the Lone Wolf taking the Bills. We'll see what happens on Friday's show. Now, remember, guys, head over to jokerchoker.com, put in promo code Bedlam, and play along with us. But that's going to wrap it up for this week. Had a lot of fun. I mean, I love every day, every minute we get to sit up here talking about football. We get to do our first real game coverage since we've really been rolling. I mean, I was kind of doing things by myself for the Super Bowl, but this is a really really get into the meat of it, really get to watch some NFL games take off. All right, but that's going to wrap it up. You'll have to get back on Friday for more NFL action. In the meantime, go to voiceofbedlam.com. Check all that out. We worked really hard on it, guys. Come check out the new site, voiceofbedlam.com.